Before we start, please watch my previous video. The link will be in the description. So the night after Jonathan Fisher loses, Maya Bialik's introduction was 6.5 weeks into the new season, and we've only seen 3 returning champions on this storied stage. Matt Amodio, then the man who defeated Matt, Jonathan Fisher, and now, the woman who vanquished Jonathan, Nancy Donhower. I didn't even realize this until she mentioned it. That's insane. Nancy Donhower has a lovely story about being a longtime Jeopardy fan. You're a devoted Jeopardy fan. What is one of your most beloved Jeopardy memories? Nancy tells her, I started watching Jeopardy in the 60s when it was filmed in Rockefeller Center in New York, and one of the highlights of my young life was when my mom took me in to watch a taping of the show. Art Fleming was host and Don Pardo was the announcer. It was great. Maya asked her, how does that compare to the experience you and I are having right now? Nancy answers, that was very exciting. It still doesn't seem real to me. This sounds a lot like Connie Smith's story, since they both watched Jeopardy since the 60s. Connie Smith has a really lovely story about being a longtime Jeopardy fan. Maya Bialik tells her, you have a long history of being a Jeopardy fan. Connie goes on to say, absolutely, before I was old enough to go to school, my grandmother used to watch the show when it was on in the daytime with Art Fleming, who was a host before Alex, and I used to watch when she was folding the laundry. I'd sit on the floor and watch the old black and white TV. Maya then tells her, well, we're glad you're here. This clip was posted on their social media. So Connie Smith and Nancy Donehower both watched since Art Fleming was the host. At the same time, Jeopardy was as personal to Angie from Gavant as it was to Nancy Donehower.
Angie from Gavant has a really lovely story about a letter she wrote to Alex Trebek when she was 8 years old. To quote Angie, yeah, when I was 8, Jeopardy was my favorite show, and I was very impatient to become a contestant. So my parents suggested I write Alex Trebek a letter and ask him to make a kids' Jeopardy, and this was before there was one, and he wrote to me back. He sent me a postcard that I brought him for show and tell, and said he hoped that I would audition when I was older. Maya Bialik told her, we're really glad you're here. I'm that much more glad to see her on Jeopardy after hearing this.
I was immediately reminded of these 2 other stories. Then I wondered, what if they all played the same night? They would have all had similar anecdotes. In theory, at least.
At least you could potentially see her from above in this.
Nancy Donhower was in the audience decades ago, and she was eventually on stage. She's come full circle. She got the first Daily Double and was in the lead for quite a while until Tyler Rhode took the lead. In Daily Double, Nancy and Jennifer answered the Daily Double wrong. They both risked $4,000. Tyler Rhode was in the lead at $12,600. The final Jeopardy category was literary movie roles. The question was, among the actresses who have portrayed her are Greta Garbo twice, Vivian Leigh, Tatiana Samoylova, and Keira Knightley. I couldn't think of an answer. The answer was Anna Karenina. None of the contestants answered correctly. Tyler Rhode won tonight's game. It was so odd to see 2 contestants winning back-to-back double digits when the third champion only won once. What a twist! And as always, thank you for watching.